Alyssa from Meditative Astrology, and I'm here to talk to you about the astrology of April 13th through April 19th. We have a few things to talk about this week. Before we get into all of that, I want to remind you to like, follow, subscribe. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram are all good places to look for our updates, videos, as well as the live meditations that we have on Sunday nights. So subscribe so that way you don't forget any of those things. We start out this week right away with an aspect. On Sunday, April 13th, the moon will be in the sign of Libra before moving into the sign of Scorpio just before 10 a.m. Eastern time. And we also have Saturn making a conjunction with the North Node on this day. We talked about this a little bit last week's video, but it's coming through exact here today. This starts out the week with a very serious and focused energy. Saturn is the planet of the foundations and sometimes the limits and the boundaries and the frameworks. So those systematic things that are within our lives, those overarching frameworks, those are Saturnian type things. So when you have Saturn coming into conjunction with the North Node, the point that gives us our North Node eclipses, it puts us into a point of consideration and having a serious look at where we are going, the actions that we are taking, the things we are moving towards, consequently the things that we are moving away from. When a planet's in conjunction with the North Node, it's in opposition to the South Node, so we are moving away from those South Node type things. So there could be a weightiness here, or there could just be a real solid reflection coming through at the beginning of this week. It could feel like we aren't quite moving in the way that we are, or it could feel like things are moving very systematically and very, one step after another in a black and white type way. So whatever is pulling on you right now, wondering if it feels like you are moving towards that, if you are taking the steps to move towards that. If you are, what is one more thing that you can do to move towards the thing that is pulling you? Saturn is the planet that is willing to put in effort and work, so it's like, if we've already made progress here, what else can we do? And if we aren't quite taking the steps to move forward, then what is one little or big thing that you can do to move into the direction that you feel pulled to, whether that is the quote-unquote right place to go or not. So there's a very contemplative start to the beginning of this week. That Scorpio moon that we have at the end of Sunday is going to take us right into Monday, where we don't have any major aspects happening here this day. That Scorpio moon will take us right into Tuesday, April 15th as well. We have no exact aspects here. We have the moon changing signs from the sign of Scorpio into Sagittarius a little before 10 p.m. Eastern time. And then that Sagittarius moon will take us right into Wednesday, April 16th. On Wednesday, we have here Mercury moving back into the sign of Aries. So Mercury was in Aries, retrograded through Aries, back into the sign of Pisces, and is now entering back through direct motion again. So we're coming back to a place that we already were. Mercury is coming back into Aries, that place where it can be bold, motivated, it can be very quick moving, it can be fiery, it can be quick to initiate things. So we may feel like we can start new habits. We might feel that our mind is moving kind of quickly. We might even change our mind or shift perspective or shift motivations quickly. Aries is a sign that is quick to start, but also can be kind of quick to burn out. So it's good to be mindful that we are, like, whatever we are creating and doing is sustainable, and we aren't putting ourselves into a place of mental burnout here as Mercury is coming into Aries. And again, this is something that we had in early March and was reworked. So this time with Mercury moving into the sign of Aries, where it's still quick to start and initiate, just like it was the first time, but now we've been through that reworking, that reorganizing and reconfiguration. So maybe now there's more information, knowledge, or experiences to kind of have a little bit more of a solid, firm start for whatever Mercury in Aries is initiating, because Aries is a sign that often will just act and then think later. So maybe now we have a little extra help since we've been here before and we've been through the retrograde. As Mercury moves into the sign of Aries, it's instantly going to move into the conjunction with Neptune, which has recently ingressed into the sign of Aries as well. When Mercury comes into contact with Neptune, you can have this inspired thought. You can feel very creative driven. And in the sign of Aries, there's initiation. So there is starting things. There is blazing forward with a trust in the unseen, whatever that is. Whether it's trusting your own creative intuition, whether it's connecting to some sort of divine energy or connecting to your own energy or even relationship type energy, there is a strong force that doesn't necessarily have to be seen. At the same time, when you have this deep connection with Mercury and Neptune, there's also that possibility of some sort of disillusionment within the mind. So when things feel so inspired and we feel so deeply connected, that can be almost an intoxicating mental energy. So it's easy to just spin real quickly, especially in the sign of Aries that just likes to go, go, go and move. It could be easy just to spin into things that are a little out of reality and a little fantastical in different ways. So it can be hard to separate the real from the unreal, especially when things are moving so quick. Aries is a quick moving sign. Mercury, although not moving at its fastest speed, is a quick moving planet, and both of them like to shift. So there is the possibility of creativity and starting something new, but there's also a possibility of an ungroundedness that could either leave us in a creative space or leaves us a little bit vulnerable to things that affect us a little bit more here. So very blazing forward energy here as Mercury moves into the sign of Aries. And as it does, I'm curious, what are the things that are inspiring you now? What are the things that are pulling you towards, and where do you feel that deep intuitive connection to things within your own life? What is pulling you towards that, and what is inspiring you at this point in your life? So that's what we have coming through Wednesday. That Sagittarius moon is going to take us right into Thursday, April 17th. Moon will be in the sign of Sagittarius all day, making a couple aspects itself here. And then we have a couple aspects on this day as well. Thursday, we have Venus coming into a conjunction with the North Node, and if we take a look at the chart, we will notice that those two planets are also interacting with Uranus at 25 degrees of Taurus. So at the same time that we have Venus coming into a conjunction with the North Node, we have Venus in sextile to Uranus and North Node in a sextile to Uranus. So when you have Venus coming into conjunction with the North Node, it's going to first amplify the Venusian qualities within our lives. So progressively moving forward, looking for balance, looking for harmony, looking for love and things that we desire. Venus has been on a retrograde path recently. She is now stationed and moving in direct motion again, but she has been on this path of reestablishing and reigniting a flame within her, reigniting independence and thoughtfulness. And then when she comes into contact with the North Node, pretty close to where she's stationed to go direct, she is now looking to move forward in a way that is going to bring peace, harmony, and balance in a form that brings longevity and has some substance with it that she can move forward on her path with. So Venus coming into contact with the North Node is not only going to amplify these Venusian desires, but it's also possibly bringing feelings of being able to move forward, up and onward. North Node is a point that expands and magnifies whatever touches it. So these are areas that pull us towards and draw us into. And when you have Venus there, a benefic that often brings good feeling, good fortune, and brings overall blessing, then there's this feeling that we have the ability to be able to move forward and be able to move on. With the sextile to Uranus, we have this little helpful energy of being able to see things a little differently or change our perspective. There's a desire to do something a little bit different than it's done before. So Venus has come into contact with the North Node retrograde, and then, like I said, stationed very close to the North Node there. So there's this way in which Venus is looking to move forward, but she's looking to do something a little bit different, because what was happening before, what was brought up in the retrograde, isn't working anymore. So now she needs to change perspective and do things a little bit different. This can be a motivated time and feel like a breath of fresh air of moving forward in a positive way. When we have those positive feelings, it is possible to just need to be aware of having blinders on and things just feeling like we have those rose-colored glasses on a little bit here with Venus in the North Node. But overall, it's a positive feeling of being inspired of moving forward. So with this energy that we have coming through here today, wondering where you feel pulled to bring balance within your life, balance and harmony, as well as wanting to step outside. So maybe there's an area in your life where you want to bring cohesion and balance, but you want to step outside that box. You want to do things a little bit differently. So where do you see that within your own lives? Are they able to work together, or are they pulling you in two different directions? These are good things to kind of contemplate with this energy that we have in the sky here today on Thursday. So that Sagittarius moon that we have at the end of Thursday is going to take us right into Friday. So the moon starts out in the sign of Sagittarius before moving into Capricorn just after 10 a.m. Eastern time. We also have Mars making a trine to Neptune just after moving into the sign of Leo. So Mars is going to transition from the sign of Cancer into the sign of Leo today, which is the place that it began its retrograde. Mars went retrograde way back when at about 6 degrees of Leo, so we have not cleared that post-shadow area, which just means that Mars is still retracing its steps over the first 6 degrees of Leo before it reaches the period, the point that outside of its retrograde, like the point that it has not made it to yet. So you have Mars coming into the sign of Leo, the place of the sun, the place where it likes to shine very, very brightly. So Mars in the sign of Cancer has been very watery, very emotionally charged. For some people, that has led to lots of emotions, more emotions than maybe some of us care to have or care to handle. Now Mars is moving into a fire sign. It's moving into a place where there's lots of ambition, there's lots of passion, there's lots of shine, there's lots of bright shining light in the place of the sun. So think about how the light of the sun just shines so brightly and lights everything up. That is the sign of Leo. When Mars is in the sign of Leo, we are pulled to do what fills our heart, and we are pulled to just feel completely fulfilled within our own heart spaces, and then we can use that light within us to help other people shine at its best, at its highest and best form. So coming right into contact with Neptune at this position, we have a fire trine. So if Leo is a sign that is driven and creative and ambitious, so is the sign of Aries. Aries likes to start and initiate things, where Leo likes to carry things through and sustain the passion and the ambition that has been coming through here. So the trine to Neptune can be very ambitious and very creative at the same time. Creative through its passions. So maybe there is a desire to create something and to initiate something that you haven't done before, do something that's a little bit louder than what you've normally done before. But overall, especially with this connection to Neptune, so Leo's the place of the sun. The sun rules over the heart space, and coming into contact with Neptune, a planet that can be very inspiring and very intuitively connective. Wondering today how you make room to connect to your own heart space. And do you feel that you are connected to something deeper within you, whatever that means for you? And then what does connected even mean to you? Does it mean connected to yourself, connected to a higher power, connected to your aspirations and the things that are around you? These are good things to contemplate on today as we move through this new Leo energy that we have coming with the trine to Neptune as well. That Capricorn moon that we have on Friday is going to take us right into Saturday, April 19th. And the moon will be in the sign of Capricorn all day, making a square to Neptune and making a square to Mercury. So that is what we have going on for this week. I hope that this video sets you up well to have some awareness as well as some things to consider moving into this week. Remember that we also have a live astrological meditation Sunday nights, so I think it's a good way to start prepping for the week could be to watch the video and then join us for the live meditation where we find ways to lean into the energies that we have going on this week. So I will see you back here next week for the next weekly video, as well as looking forward to seeing you at our live meditation. So I hope everybody has an absolutely wonderful week navigating these energies, and I hope that it brings you the most highest possible expression that it possibly can.